We're here today at FH Arscott and Son with Philip Arscott, better known as Chili, to have a chat about his tractors and have a bit of a look around the farm. So, Phil, tell us a bit about the farm, about what you do and your dairy farm.
Yeah, Rob, we are. I'm fifth generation farmers. We specialise in dairy, beef, and a few sheep in the winter to pick the grass lays down, what the cows leave in the summer, to sort of tidy the lays up for the following year, ready to go again. We've got 70 Holstein dairy cows, averaging 8,600 litres on a low input system, sort of grass silage and rolled barley, and some concentrates, cow cake in the parlour, fed sort of on quantity on yield basis, as it were.
Yeah. And you do all your own operations, you do your own silaging?
Pretty much everything is in house. Sort of we run all O gear. Yes, we do a few problems now and again, but that's to be expected with O gear. But the only thing that is sort of contracted out is the spraying and the planting of the corn, the drilling.
Right. Yeah. Very good. Well, let's have a bit of a wander around and have a look at some of your tractors and some of the kit that you've got here.
Thank you.
So, Phil, I expect we could probably guess, but what's your favourite tractor?
Well, Rob, my favourite tractor would be this old girl, Ford 7810. This was sort of come to the market in the early 90s when, Ford were really galloping on with tractor sales. It's four-wheel drive, 100 horsepower, 2 spools, 30k, bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's just a good old workhorse and still very usable in today's agriculture.
It was a very well balanced, very agile tractor for its day. Yeah. Any disadvantages, negatives?
30k is not ideal. I suppose. No, there isn't. Not really.
So, Phil, you run your own forager here on the farm. What is it, and what's the story behind it?
Hi, Rob. Right, this is a 1997 class Jaguar 840. We've had this 10 years. 10 years. This will be its 11th season, sorry.
Right, yeah.
Or forthcoming season.
Yeah.
I bought this out of auction, like I say, 10 years ago. The story of it behind it really is we had a trailed forager before, and your limiting factor with that is sort of 30 to 40 acres a day. In a good long day, that would have been. And whereas this, you can sort of double that to maybe 80, 100, maybe 120, and that's, in a comfortable day.
Yeah.
With the British climate, catchy seasons are sort of known in these parts,
right.
and this was sort of the way to go, really. I thought it's been a good forager for us, that's for sure.
Was there a bit of a story behind the mechanics of it and getting it up and running?
Not. I bought it, like I say, bought it out of auction and bar a quick service. We put it straight to work, and what have we had go wrong with over the years? A couple of chains, couple of bearings, some pickup reel bearings. Other than that, we've been sort of touch wood, been lucky, and it's been pretty reliable. That's for sure.
Yeah, very good. Let's have a wander. Let's see what else we can see. So, Phil, let's have a little bit of a wander around the yard and have a look at some of your tractors.
Right. Here is 7610. Was on the feeder wagon, but we sort of retired it from that because sometimes when it gets a bit wet and icy, your two-wheel drive, and we're not a level farm, so you really need a four-wheel drive. So it's sort of gone into hibernation, but it comes out in the summer and used on the baler, on a conventional baler or sort of tedder. It's a nice old tractor, quite rare because it's got floor change gearbox.
Right.
Instead of the column change sort of up under the steering wheel that most people will be familiar with. Yeah, I bought it 6-7 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Out of auction, and it's yeah, been a nice tractor.
What other tractors do you run on the farm then, Phil?
The more modern ones, sort of that we every day. Bloody cows blaring. The more modern tractors that we use daily would be John Deere 6920. Again, came out of auction. It's done quite a lot of hours, that one, sort of 11,000. It's just a nice, powerful tractor, very comfortable with cab and front suspension. And it's a nice place to sort of spend the day, as it were. We like them, the boys like them. But you got to remember, mine, they're getting on for 20 years old now. So, you know, it's and it's marvellous to still can be put to a day's of hard work. And yeah, we like them.
Yeah, and obviously you've got a pair there, but are they both 6920S's or?
No, one 6920S and a 6920. I think the S is supposed to be a bit more horsepower, but probably the other one, it feels like it's a bit more pokier, because this one would have been on a sprayer on an arable farm for the majority of its life,
Right.
so not been hard work, whereas the other one just feels there's a bit more under the bonnet. But we did put that one on the dyno the other day, one of the Yarcombe Young Farmers charity event, and it kicked out 139, which is, I'd have thought it would have been 150-ish, but obviously not.
Yeah. Yeah, and tell us about these fantastic Doughboy rolls here. That must make rolling grassland an absolute pleasure.
Oh, that's like, we've had them, that's 10 years. They're 10 years old.
Yeah.
That was one of my sort of spare at the moment purchases. We had an old 2's 8-foot lead ballast rollers, and getting in and out the tractor, pulling the pins, and sometimes it wouldn't swing round to close. I thought there's got to be an easier way than this, and I spoke to a machinery manufacturer at one of the shows. I can't remember who it was. It might have been a Pico or something like that, and he said, "Oh, Cambridge rollers is the way to go for grassland," and I wasn't convinced on that. And then I saw these Dalbo grasslands. I thought, "Cool, that looks the business." And it certainly is. It makes the job most enjoyable.
Like most dairy farms then, Phil, there's a tractor for every job. So you've got a little Ford 3930 industrial, must be those colours, on the scraper. Good old MF135, which, yeah, no farm should be without one of those. Tell us a bit more about this Ford 5600 then.
Yeah, this one came from a little small holding a few miles up the road. It's done not quite 4,000 hours. It's got Duncan cab.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic. There's sort of no frills and spills, but it's a nice old tractor, just something that's in the collection, really.
Yeah, yeah. And what about this legend behind us?
That come out of an online auction when COVID was about, so that's probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We've sort of tidied it up the best we can. Put a new nose cone on it, new front grille, new stickers right through. It's very, very basic, but the job it does well. And it's surprisingly quite comfortable.
Yeah.
But again, this one would be 40k, that's what the picture of the hair is for. But these do suffer with rust quite badly, and in this one, the old tin worm is starting to eat it in places. But I'm aware of it, and we will address that at some stage.
So you love them so much that one Ford 7810 isn't enough. You had to have another one.
Was something like that, Rob. Basically, this would be slightly more rarer in the two-wheel drive version.
Yeah.
This one is early life would have been on a sprayer.
Yeah.
And I bought it off an old guy who was retiring, and it's sort of come out of Cornwall, and it's quite got some serious tin worm here, etc.
Yeah.
But it's a nice tractor, and for tedding and raking grass silage, it's fantastic. Yeah, and it's a bit extreme to have a 4 and a 2-wheel drive, but they weren't. They were bought for the right money, and they have gone up in value in recent years. So yeah, that's the story there.
Well, thanks, Phil, for letting us have a look around the farm and chatting to us about some of your tractors you've got here. You've got a very interesting range of tractors from all different stables, which just shows the true tractor fan you must be.
Oh, thanks for that, Rob. Yeah. Well, what can I say? Yeah, there's definitely a few tractors here, but with the price of new stuff nowadays, I think I can afford to have a few, because if one breaks, then I've got another one to be going on with. And if you've got all your eggs in one basket, but it's horses for courses. It works for me, and I'm sure the people who run new tractors, it works for them. But it's a bit of a preference thing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, thanks very much anyway. And if you've enjoyed today's video, please do like, subscribe and share. We're trying to get this channel off the ground, so any help would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much.
Thank you.